Chicago's newest villain has just been released back to the streets, back to the South Side. 051 Kiddo the Driller, has just been released after doing 10 and a half years for armed robbery in the Illinois Department of Corrections. Kiddo wasted no time dissing the ops and letting it be known exactly where he stands and what he feels about what is going on in the city. He wants everybody to know that nothing is dead and that he's okay with stirring the pot.
So what's some future goals and aspirations for you? Like, we know you out and you getting that. We don't want you to go back in. You see what I'm saying? So, how you coming?
I ain't going back to jail. That's one thing for sure, two things for certain. Bro, them, they too overprotective about me, you feel me? So my main focus is just like music, show videos, chasing this money, making sure my girl's straight. Bro, like, that's really my main focus. Ain't no jail cell for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did too long in the jail cell.
Yeah.
And like I said from the very beginning, for them, they watch my every move. They don't play about me. I ain't gonna lie to you. They be on my ass. If they see me somewhere I'm supposed to be, they ass calling. I can't go nowhere without for them calling my phone. Wanna know where I'm at and what I'm doing. They ass on my neck. As long as you got that support, you ain't gonna go to jail, you ain't gonna die, you feel me?
On June 26, Kiddo released a song called Don't Play With Us. In the song, he takes shots at all of his ops and can also be seen on screen kissing his girlfriend. Tay Savage, another drill rapper from the Chicago scene, wasted no time in dissing. He went so far as to make comments about her actually being a linebacker. Within 48 hours, Tay Savage and Little Reese's manager, Honcho, was killed in the Chicago streets. Kiddo immediately went live on Instagram to diss the dead man and to call out his enemies and let them know what would happen if they played with him. Quote, shit just gonna happen if you diss on my bitch.
The whole situation, when we think about the whole whoop, who just died right before this? Lil Dude, the manager they were saying that this was the manager of Lil Reese and Tay Savage. Condolences to him and his side. It ain't different.
But we want to take it from the top, bro. Tell us where you're from.
051 Young Money.
What's that? What's 051 Young Money? That's a block. That's a hood.
Cottage Grove, 51st address.
Okay.
That's why I've been getting that game from the beginning to the end.
Kiddo just dropped two videos, bro. And he did an interview with DJ U, bro. He did a song recently on Phone Now, and it's called No Interviews. It looked like he out there with the who's, J man, with the Young Moneys. This how they throw up Young Money. This how y'all drop their money. I can't be teaching y'all all the whoops, bro. But on Phone Now, I can teach y'all some of the
051 Young Money is a subset of the Mickey Cobra's gang, a gang that originated a long time ago in Chicago and has a deep history with roots in the West and South Side. Now I want to defer to Chicago News, a YouTube channel called Chicago News, who did an extremely in-depth documentary on the Mickey Cobras.
This gang, this street gang that formed around this time, was called the Egyptian Cobras. The guy who's widely credited with founding the Mickey Cobras was a guy named James Cogwell. Now I'm going to go kind of fast here through the early history, but the Egyptian Cobras at that particular time, like I said, were led by James Cogwell. But on the west side at that same time, another gang was forming, which I've talked about in numerous videos, and that is the Vice Lords. And the Vice Lords, there were a lot of gangs like on the west side forming at this time, but the Vice Lords kind of got everybody to eventually either flip Vice Lord or flip one of the other bigger gangs. Like there's sets of GDs and stuff now on the west side, and basically you had to either flip Vice Lord or flip something else. These smaller gangs eventually got absorbed into the Vice Lords, or just, like I said, forced to flip other stuff due to the Vice Lords, and this is one example of that. The Egyptian Cobras were forced out of the west side. They lost their territory to the Vice Lords. And the Vice Lords eventually became the biggest gang on the West Side, and it remains that way till this day. Although today you have a lot of Vice Lords beefing with other Vice Lords, and so that whole thing is kind of it's kind of falling apart anyways. But so when they left the West Side, they didn't really spread out, I would say, evenly all over the city. They went to the South Side primarily. They went to one particular part of the North Side, to the projects, but mainly they went to the South Side. And leadership of the gang at this time changed, but stayed within the same family. And James Cogwell had a younger brother named Mickey.
Young Money, now that's 51st, bro. Do y'all homework on 51st Young Money, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna die that way.
Word. So tell us what it was like growing up Young Money.
Since being released, Kiddo has dropped numerous diss tracks disrespecting numerous different BD sets and different gangs.
Great, we get that game forever, ever. We out here with all the booties going fast. We 4K, 46K, 300K, 600K. We get that game, nigga. I'm here fucking talking about, nigga. On full grade, nigga. BDK, nigga. RP all the guys. And we stand for all the guys. Bitch. We talking about, bitch. On full grade, big wide.
Kiddo just came home and he bugging up. I just seen Trench's News getting that. Man, he act like he ready to crash out, bro. Kiddo been locked up for the past 10 years, right? Tay Savage was locked up for all them years. Who else just came home recently? T Slick from Lamron. It's a couple members that was really in the drill scene that y'all ain't seen that just recently coming home on phone. And they was big parts of this drill movement years and years and years ago. So y'all probably forgot their faces, but on phone them, they back. And they bugging up.
The body count attributed to 051 Young Money is ridiculous. Kiddo is by no means the deadliest of 051 Young Money.
Kiddo came out, bro. I remember Kiddo from way back. They say, J-Man, have Kiddo been like that? On phone them, Kiddo was always known. Blah, 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 blah.
Why do you think the crime rate in Chicago is so high? And do you think there'll ever be an end to the violence here?
Yeah, there'll be an end. Eventually, if everybody just focus on getting some money. But right now, it seems like everybody focus on shit that don't need to be focused about.
Now you got out. The Chicago rap scene was really quiet. And you got out, man, and it seems like the Chicago rap scene is back. You got out dissing, and you know, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people feel like, you know, they're concerned about you, they're worried about you. They want you to go a different direction. They don't understand why you would do 10 years and come back on the same path.
Most definitely.
So why get out and trigger people who, you know, because I told you it was quiet. Now you got out and you ruffled a lot of feathers.
Everybody dead in the rack, bro. Everybody keep down, bro.
Okay, black people started gangbanging in Chicago mainly historically as a response to white gangs that were getting down on them and, like, you know, robbing them, oppressing them in other ways just in the streets when they came up from the South. Okay, freed blacks in the South, you know, that had just been freed from slavery, that were still living in the rural South. They were not gangbanging, they were not claiming sets. It's doubtful that any of them knew that that type of stuff existed or that knew what gangbanging was. But when they came north during the Great Migration, which started around the early 20th century, they encountered European immigrants that were doing that in the urban ghettos of the North, in the industrial areas of the North. They had already been doing that, and actually they had brought that gang culture over from the cities of Europe. Okay, so the European immigrants were doing that up there. The black people that were coming up saw what they were doing, And in particular, a lot of the influential black gang leaders saw how these white immigrants were using gangs as a transition into politics. Okay, the white gangs were very connected with politics, especially the Irish, and a lot of the Irish politicians were former gang members. And the Irish politicians also, and some of the other politicians as well, would use street gangs like to get out the vote and, you know, do things for them. Even the mafia, Al Capone was connected with, you know, at one point politicians in Chicago, and it was very interconnected, the streets and politics. So Larry Hoover specifically talked about this, you know, as being something that he wanted to do. He wanted to, you know, use the streets as a stepping stone into the legitimate business world and into politics.
This shit chess. I tell everybody that every day. Life is like chess. Sacrifices have to be made. So every day you're gonna take a risk.
How many friends have you lost to prison? And I guess being crime, prison, murdered, how many friends would you say you've lost?
I lost a few.
I guess when any of those passed away, did you think about leaving the streets at that stage?
No. Not one time. Not one time I thought about leaving the streets. I thought about revenge, but I never thought about leaving the streets.
As well, touching on your music, you seem to have like a unique style with your music. And I see a lot of people say in the comments, you don't rhyme, but it's a unique flow. Will that ever change?
Nah. Well, it might, but I'm just being me. I'm just being myself. I don't gotta be like every other artist. I'm being myself.
Why is 051 so hated in Chicago? I've been watching their vlogs and shit. And they're really reckless. They really stand on business, but they call themselves the most hated. Is that true?
Now look, 051 Young Money, is they the most hated, bro? The Young Money is? Who the fuck y'all compared to 63rd, bro? I'll hook the up. It ain't different. Y'all number 2, bro. Y'all know that. It ain't different.
So at this particular time, guys, the projects were still up. And for those of you younger guys who don't remember the days of the projects, Cabrini Green, I talk about those the most because that's the north side where, you know, where I'm from. So I was seeing those projects the most. But other groups of projects that were really notorious at that time were like the low-end projects in the Robert Taylor homes. So the Cobras took up a territory in the Robert Taylor homes. Okay, and then they also got part of Cabrini Green. So they became like a project gang partially, okay? So they had like these territories in the projects. Now, Cabrini Green was obviously like one of the main bases of the GDs. And so the Stones, the GDs, you know, they were into it. So the Cobras were into it with the GDs too at this time, the Egyptian Cobras.
So I want to ask you, get straight to business, like, how you feel about 051 dissing the dead, you know, and rapping that shit now?
Man, honestly, bro, that shit played out, bro. Anybody who's dissing dead people, bro, to me, either you can't rap or you just a sucker, a goofy for real. Dude ass, I know you speaking on Kiddo, dude ass ain't he a nobody for real, man, but the internet, they like to make their own assumptions of who a certain person is or what they is. And dude, that's a goofy, bro. Straight clown. You know, you're talking about people who can't even defend themselves. But, you know, a lot of them gas that shit up. A lot of bloggers and shit, people doing interviews, it's like that's what they looking for, that's what they want. But then when you get up with them and do something to his ass, is they gonna help his mama bury him? Is they gonna give his mama something on a headstone or something? Hell no, but I mean, shit. Me personally, bro, I don't do that shit, bro. I used to, I've done it before, but the energy that shit bring, bro, it ain't worth it, bro. You do a 500,000 views, But at the same time, though, you gotta look over your shoulder everywhere you go. You feel me? Can't take your kids certain places, can't be certain places. I ain't with that shit, bro. I stopped that shit because the energy was bad. Honestly, I leave that to the who can't rap.
Because your music is very controversial, your lyrics. Why do you feel the need to be controversial? Or why do you talk about, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, dead people in the lyrics, or is that not the case?
I'm always speak on the dead in some type of form or fashion. Others did it. I do it, it's a problem. It shouldn't be no problem if I do it. Why is it a problem?
As well, kid, I've read multiple times that you've got like 100 grand on your head currently. And people said that you'll be dead before the end of summer. What do you make of that?
I don't really get no fuck about what people say. I just let the internet talk. You don't know me. You don't know how I think. You don't know how I move. You don't know where I'm at. Yeah, you might know my first and last name because you know my first and last name because of YouTube. You know my first and last name because I've been at DOC. But you don't know me.
Rumors have been flying the last couple of months about the bounty that was originally placed on his head at $50,000 and has since been upped to $100,000. Nemo 600 predicted that he will actually be dead before the end of the summer. Despite this, Kiddo makes the rounds as if he was running for mayor, cruising around the city, doing interviews on Instagram Live, doing his thing, dissing the ops, dissing the dead.
Everybody dead in the rack, bro. Everybody keep down, bro.
I don't take no serious like that, man, on Fez, man. Me more as a goofy on bro grade. On bro, Tay Savage a rat. Bookie G on Fez, man. Mimo ass, he 12 too on Fez, man. His ass Pody 2. Tay 600 Pody 2 on Fez, man. All them goofies, man. On bro.
Nigga, forever, ever, nigga, we get that game on Fez. Get them kids, baby. You know what the fuck going on? Fuck the off. Fuck Vaughn. The fuck lose. LA. This game. Get that melly, baby. Fuck me to my big white bitch.
Everybody dead in the rack, bro. Everybody keep down, bro.
Now, I don't know the exact year, I have to say, when this happened, but it was in the late 70s. Mickey Codwell was killed. And this is when their name changed, okay, from Egyptian Cobras to Mickey Cobras. And they actually changed the name because of him, in honor of the leader. But the gang is really the Egyptian Cobras, but they named it after their leader after he got killed. Today, you see the younger generation like naming blocks, you know, this world, that ville, after fallen members. Well, the Cobras were, I think, the first ones really to do that. They named the whole gang after their fallen leader.